Hi, we are going to talk about Masters in Development Studies entrance examination syllabus, how to prepare for it और IIT हैदराबाद के स्पेसिफिक ये वीडियो है बिकॉज दे हैव रिलीज द डेट 15th ऑफ मई को वो कंडक्ट कराने जा रहे हैं एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन. तो इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन देयर वेबसाइट इटसेल्फ कि एग्ज़ाम स्ट्रक्चर और बाकी कैसे क्या है, पैटर्न कैसे है. तो टोटल एग्ज़ाम वो 100 मार्क्स का ले रहे हैं. दैट हैज़ टू सेक्शन, वन इज़ ऑब्जेक्टिव, अनदर इज़ डिस्क्रिप्टिव. तो अगर हम बात करें कि क्या वेटेज है, तो 40% वेटेज है आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव पार्ट को और 60% का वेटेज आपको दिया गया है डिस्क्रिप्टिव पार्ट को. आंसर शीट वो प्रोवाइड करेंगे. पेन, पेंसिल, इरेज़र, राइटिंग बोर्ड वगैरह ये सब अगर आपकी ज़रूरत है आप लेके जा सकते हो. पेन इज़ इनफ फॉर मी, तो मुझे लगता है पेन लेके जाओ, उतना ज़रूरी है एटलीस्ट. Then part A में what they are going to ask, so there will be 30 minutes for part A, which will consist of 20 question for 40 marks. So 20 into 2 questions, I mean 2 marks for each correct answer. All questions are compulsory, and this section is, there will be questions from logical reasoning, basic mathematics and English language. What will be covered under logical reasoning section? So there will be topics related to analogy and classification, syllogism, logical deduction, series completion, puzzle solving. So you can go through R.S. Agrawal ka practice reasoning sets. Otherwise, I will suggest you for each topic you can just go through some of the YouTube videos which are going to help. For example, you can just copy and paste this in YouTube search box. You will find that there are some video regarding this. You can watch for 10 minutes. I mean, it is up to you what is your approach to reasoning, how you good are, or how you are friendly to logical reasoning questions. It is up to you, but the approach what I'm telling you can follow for your exam, for this for everything. And logical reasoning questions are very unexpected, but on the other hand, I mean, it has very limited kind of syllabus. For example, there can be blood relation question, there can be that A B C D are sitting together, A is left to B, ऐसे वाले क्वेश्चन आते हैं. देन एक ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है कि A नॉर्थ में 10 किलोमीटर चला, फिर अपने राइट मुड़ा 5 किलोमीटर चला, या ऐसे क्वेश्चन करके आते हैं रीजनिंग में. तो रीजनिंग में ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन आते हैं, तो यू कैन रीजनिंग का आप सेक्शन कर सकते हो. देन देर इज़ बेसिक मैथमेटिक्स पार्ट आल्सो. सो बेसिक मैथमेटिक्स में दे हैव गिवन सिलेबस जिसमें ये बात करते हैं कि परसेंटेज, रेशियो एंड प्रोपोर्शंस, सिंपल अलजेब्रा, एवरेज एंड डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड बेसिक ग्राफ एनालिसिस. ये चीज़ें आई होप इफ़ यू आर गोइंग फॉर डेवलपमेंट स्टडीज़, और थोड़ा सा भी इफ़ यू हैव स्टडीज समथिंग क्वान्टिटेटिव, इवन नॉट एग्जैक्टली क्वान्टिटेटिव बट समथिंग इन योर अंडर ग्रेजुएशन और स्कूल लेवल की मैथमेटिक्स अगर आपने 10th क्लास तक की भी पढ़ी होगी, देन दैट्स इनफ टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. सो वन थिंग इज दैट यू शुड नो हाउ टू derive insights from the graph. That is going to help for this basic mathematics वाला थिंग. देन पार्ट ए में ही आएगा इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज. तो इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में रीडिंग कॉम्प्रहेंशन, वोकैब जिसमें सिनोनिम, एंटोनिम्स आपको पता है, तो इट इज़ मच बेटर. देन सेंटेंस करेक्शन इज देयर, ग्रामर यूजेज इज देयर, एंड एरर स्पॉटिंग. दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन कैन बी देयर. एंड so better is that you can build your skill, but this English language is something which you can't prepare for in 10 or 15 days. It is up to means how good you are in overall language comprehension. मतलब आप कितने जल्दी डिटेक्ट कर लेते हो एरर्स और ग्रामर आपका कैसा है. तो इट कम्स फ्रॉम रीडिंग एंड रीडिंग ओनली. तो इट टेक्स टाइम. इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल यू कैन डेवलप इट इन 10 or 15 days. So I mean, if you can, it's good, but there can be some tricks, some tips for reading comprehension or such kind of approach. But again, those are very subjective, and I don't know whether that can be applied in your context or not. But I will suggest that you can't prepare a lot about this language thing. Coming to part B, so as I already said, they have two parts, part A and part B. Part A has 20 questions, part B has 10 question where you have to solve only 3 questions. देखो, descriptive essay questions are there. Duration is for 90 minutes. Question to answer. You have 10 question. You have to solve only 10 question. और अगर ये 20 मार्क्स के हैं तो हो जाएंगे आपके 60 मार्क्स के. 40 मार्क्स का आपका MCQ था तो टोटल मार्क्स आपके हो गए 100. अब इस पे बात करते हैं क्या इसमें 60 मार्क्स में इवेलुएशन किस बेसिस पे होगा डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन में. तो 3-4 चीज़ें आपकी देखी जाएंगी. वन इज एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी. तो जो क्वेश्चन आया है आप उसको कितना एनालिसिस कर सकते हो और फिर आप जो आंसर देते हो उसमें आप कितना डीपली एनालिसिस कर सकते हो किसी चीज़ को. देन क्लैरिटी एंड कोहेरेंस. हाउ क्लियर, हाउ कंसाइज, हाउ क्रिस्प योर आंसर इज. Then relevance means whatever data you are saying, whatever points you are writing, whatever argument you are engaging with, you are writing, that should be relevant to the question, relevant to the topic, relevant to the heading, relevant to subheading in case you are using subheadings. Then it comes disciplinary knowledge. So you should have some disciplinary knowledge about that particular subject, about that particular question. So there can be essay topics related to development in society overall. So topics can be from growth and development, migration, gender discrimination, environment versus development, indigenous people, sexual minorities, social justice. These are some of the areas. Apart from that, there can be some other question as you could see in IIT Mandi exam. Although see what happened this year, IIT Mandi Development Studies exam was quite different from from previous year patterns. But they have given this proper syllabus, so possibly they are going to ask question from this thing only. So in economy and policy, there can be topics like public policy and social sector, or labor related policy, or human development index policy, or inequality. There can be question from 5-year plans, national income, cost of living, fiscal and monetary policies can be one. And there can be question from market and environment. So topics, for example, demand, supply and elasticity, or market structure. For example, there are 4 kind of markets. One is perfect market where demand meets supply. Another is monopoly. Monopoly means only one person or one group or one industry has whole control of the market. Oligopoly means once again monopoly. Oligopoly. Okay. Oligopoly means some people has control over the market. Monopolistic, I'm not sure. You just check it. Climate change. So climate change, yeah, it is pretty obvious. They can ask question from this. Role of statistics and development. Yeah, this is important question. IIT Guwahati ने already a question पूछा था कि how qualitative and quantitative approach is necessary in development studies research ऐसे करके question. तो they already had a question regarding this. So if you talk about research वाला part, so there is always a question related to research. So statistics का भी role है development में, कैसे ये role है. You need to answer about this. For example, we need data, we need good analysis of data, we need to ensure that whether that data really ensures the reality of ground. So these things are something which can be determined by statistics. और फिर उसके basis पे we can take actions, we can understand the regions or logics or peculiarity behind that. So for example, they have given some sample questions. So one sample question they have given that reasons for demonetization, highlight positive and negative impact. So what they are expecting, you can write background and objective, you can write economic and social impacts, you can write balanced analysis. It shouldn't be that either you like the current government very much or you dislike it. Your answer shouldn't show their your particular how much you are inclined toward government. It should simply talk about the logic, the reasoning with the data, facts, and what can be impact. So it should be unbiased. One more sample question is there. How would you study standards of living of two villages? Yeah. So you can do some sampling framework. You can talk about some indicator. इसमें you can talk about healthcare access, you can talk about education, you can talk about how peaceful they are, how harmonious the village is, how much they have community belongingness. These things you can talk about. Research method you can talk about, quantitative, qualitative, ethical, logistical consideration. So it is about studies. So you can talk about these things. One more sample question can be, does development always mean progress? So expectation is you can define what is progress, what is development exactly. You can give some counter examples that no, this is not the case. Development always mean not progress, but sometime it may possible that there is some stagnant progress, still you are developed. For example, you can give example of Bhutan, where economy is not that much great or big in numbers, but they are happy, so they are developed in a way, because see, and they are somewhere in top 5, top 10 every year, in top 20 every year in World Happiness Index. So in that case they are developed because they are happy. So it is not always that you should have very good economy, you should have a very great GDP. It's not always the case. Progress doesn't define development. It may happen that there is progress without development. So you have to balance your discussion on inclusive development. Then there are some tips for essay writing. You can use structure, introduction, body, conclusion. You can talk about a topic in introduction, then you can give your argument, answer in body section, then you can conclude with some positive approach. And then you can use headings, you can use data, and for example you can proofread your answer, then you should have to stick to word limit. So I will suggest you for part A, you can practice aptitude test, you can go through some time mock test, and you can go through random YouTube videos just for searching that basic reasoning comprehension video or something like that. For part B, you can read newspaper, you can read journals, you can make short notes, you can practice essays. But more than that, the best thing I can suggest you can go through one dedicated book for development studies entrance examination. You can just go to MA IIT website. I will provide you link. You can go through this development studies entrance examination book. So this has all the covered syllabus. So this book is going to help you for your overall understanding of development, and it is no doubt that it is going to help you to deal with this kind of question, because it has given some questions as well, some MCQs as well, and detailed a discussion on each topic, whatever is can be asked, and whatever dimension you can mention. So this thing is there, so you can refer to book. Other than that, you can go through our course which talks about answer writing to everything. To you are given the content, you can go through this website. I will provide you link, or you can go here on this website. You can go coaching section. There are two kinds of coaching which I provide. One is individual guidance, you have to pay this much for individual guidance, and another is just for self-placed online recording. So you will get a lot of stuff there also, so you can go through that coaching also. So you can buy now and get so whole syllabus is covered there. It is not only our video, but rather than we are referring to secondary videos from different sources, but overall this is going to help. So you can buy from here, and a lot of videos are there. I think more than 20 hour content is there overall, so you can go through that, and you can that is definitely going to help. See, let me talk about IIT Mandi. So almost 150 people were there shortlisted for the interview round. So out of those 150, there were around 70 people whom I could match. So those people have taken that ebook, and out of our people who joined this coaching, so there are not big in numbers, but out of them I haven't matched, but I just randomly went through. So there is good number of candidates who are selected from this. So one of our policies, we never disclose your name in case of you qualify. So we are not going to disclose your name. So that is good. But some guys do the same because see, it is your hard work, so no one should take credit. So I'll suggest you can buy it, and it can be helpful for you. Otherwise also, I have talked about the syllabus. You can go through, study by yourself. But again, the problem is you don't know how much you have to study. You are given the topic, but you don't know how much is enough. But I'm damn sure that whatever I have given you, this much is, if not enough, then I would say that this is, pretty, I mean, this is almost going to cover your exam. So I am confident about that. If you just google the topics, you can get content. But I don't know, I mean, that mostly content will be from UPSC learning and for other courses. So I don't know how much you have to study, how you are going to install that. So that issue is there. And anyway, if you are going to Hyderabad, you are going to take flight or train or maybe something, I mean, so some transport you are going to use. So book is, cheaper than that, this course is cheaper than that. So it is up to you, up to your decision. But I'm telling you, you can, follow these tips, techniques. Thank you so much for joining.